Hello Illumineers! Today we'll be going over a deck tech on a heroic deck list I'm calling Princess Songstorm. Storm refers to a mechanic from Magic the Gathering where some benefit scales based on the number of cards you play in a single turn. In this list, it equates to gain lore equal to 2, 3, or even 4 times the number of songs you sang this turn. Princess Songstorm is the first deck I designed while exploring the heroic format, as I wanted to create a storyboard based combo. While it does need other cards to pull off, the primary combo pieces to this combo are in the storyboard, which include the legendary Cinderella, Melody Weaver, ally Philoctetes No Nonsense Instructor, and song Go the Distance. The legendary and the song are the two important pieces, whereas the ally is not important to the combo, but I think it's a heroic staple in that it's a great way to gain lore outside of traditional questing. I've broken this deck tech into some smaller categories to go over. We have the combo, alternative win conditions, damaging and healing, extra lore, and then the meat and potatoes of ramp, removal, draw, and utility. Let's start with the combo. Cinderella Melody Weaver, our storyboard legendary, gives 1 lore pip to each other princess each time she sings a song. And she's also a singer 9. So here's where the storm comes into play. The more times she sings a song, the more lore all of our princesses can generate in a turn. Now our signature song, Go the Distance, can ready Cinderella Melody Weaver so long as she has damage on her. While she won't be able to quest, she will be able to sing songs, such as you see where this is going, the distance. Cinderella sings Go the Distance, which chooses her to be readied so that she can sing Go the Distance, which chooses her to be readied so that she can sing Go the Distance, over and over until the tax is too great to sing the song again. Now each time we sing Go the Distance, its tax will increase by 1. So long as the tax is less than 8, she can sing Go the Distance again, which means that she can sing the Go the Distance, if we have 0 tax when we start, a total of 8 times in 1 turn. This bestows 8 lore pips to each of our other princesses in play, allowing them to quest for a huge amount of lore in one go. The last component required for this combo is princesses, but as you can see, it doesn't even matter what they do, so long as they're a type princess and can quest. This has a big benefit of hiding in plain sight. The deck appears at face value to be an uncoordinated pile of draft or starter deck bulk. It runs lots of commons and uncommons with little or no impact to the board, most of which aren't worth the effort from our opponents to remove or challenge, should they not know what's about to happen. But if we can get 3 or 4 of them dry at a time and stick Cindy for a turn, that's game over. So let's take a look at the rest of the list. I won't go over every card I currently run, as these videos tend to become a bit outdated as new sets are released. But I'll highlight the cards that I think are notably good and a bit future-proof. And you can check out the up-to-date deck list via the link in the description. As you'd expect, this list runs as many princesses as it can manage, so I won't cover them specifically, but expect them to pop up in all these other categories as stand-ins for more popular cards since they double as the win conditions of this deck. Now let's talk about the alternative win conditions. Christopher Robin Adventurer, Bolt Superdog, and Wreck-It Ralph Demolition Dude are all cards that benefit from being readied repeatedly, which we can accomplish through our signature song, Go the Distance. So should we end up with no princesses or no Cindy, we can use our song on these characters to boost our lore production. We also have several characters that also benefit from singing multiple songs in a turn, like Tigger, In the Crow's Nest, Maui, Half Shark, Alan Adale, Rockin' Rooster, and Ratigan, Nefarious Criminal. These can be seen as honorary princesses as they have the same lore output as a princess while Cindy is comboing off, but these generate lore without needing Cindy in play, so they provide a valuable redundancy to the core combo. To take the most advantage of them, we need backup singers, like Ariel Singing Mermaid, Cinderella Gentle and Kind, Ariel Spectacular Singer, or Aurora Waking Beauty. Characters who could repeatedly sing and be readied by Go the Distance should they be needed to feed those other win conditions many songs in one turn. Next, we pivot away from song singing to something else, damage for value. Some of our removal package is dedicated to dealing damage to any character like Robin Hood Capable Fighter, Namari Heir of Fang, Mulan Elite Archer, and Teeth and Ambitions. And this is because Go the Distance does require a character to be damaged, which might lead to some situations where we aren't able to use the song, such as a lack of exerted characters to challenge with Cindy, or the only character she can challenge would banish her before she could start her opera combo. This also opens up the option to lean heavier into our secondary theme of self-damage for value, which Raya, Fierce Protector, Dinner Bell, and Wreck-It Ralph, Demolition Dude, are examples of cards which benefit us when we have damaged characters. We can pair these with Amber's healing cards, like Heal What Has Been Hurt, Julieta Madrigal, Excellent Cook, Rapunzel, Gifted Artist, and Aurora, Waking Beauty, mentioned before, all of which gain benefits from removing damage and keep our characters going. We also run the comes into play damage trio of Mother Gothel, Withered and Wicked, Mulan, Injured Soldier, and Beast Wounded, to give us a few more targets. These damage for value effects are our secondary mechanic of the deck, and can hopefully be phased out in the future for more princess synergy. But for now, they keep us in the match by giving us interaction, expendable challengers, and card advantage generators. Next, let's talk about our extra lore generators. Sleepy's Flute, Mulan Imperial Soldier, Wreck-It Ralph, Admiral Underpants, and Philoctetes No Nonsense Instructor, which of course is our ally. I like Phil because practically every princess is also a hero, and we run over 40 princesses in this list. This also means that Wreck-It Ralph Admiral Underpants is one of our GOAT-like surprise lore boosts, which often can sneak in the final few points for the win. Mulan showcases our third mechanic of the deck, getting down and dirty with challenging, but more on that in a bit. Next, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the deck, the ramp, removal, draw, and utility cards. We have 2 ramp cards in the form of Lantern and Pluto Friendly Pooch. Not much to work with here, unfortunately, but these help us get to 5 lore to play Cindy. I wish we had a princess that could ramp. That would work a lot better in the context of setting up 3 or 4 princesses in play before we go for Cindy on 5 ink, but you work with what you got. For removal, we have quite a few options in our color combo. Dragonfire, Be Prepared, Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, Namari Nemesis. These show the strength of Ruby with some flexible options. Strength of the Raging Fire, and then along came Zeus and Let the Storm Rage On, round out the list of damage effects that could also be used on our own characters, although some of these run the risk of banishing them with too much damage. Benja, Guardian of the Dragon Gem, Beast, Hard-Headed, I Find 'em, I Flatten 'em, all these show off our ability to deal with item-based threats. While Vanellope von Schweetz, Random Roster Racer, Cinderella Stout-Hearted, and Mulan Enemy of Entanglement are a few examples of princesses who aren't afraid to challenge. Moving on to draw power, which might be one of the weaker aspects of our color combination, we have Rapunzel Gifted with Healing, Queen Censor Core, Be Our Guest, and Tinkerbell Generous Fairy. These help us keep a steady flow of princesses coming into play. Alternatively, we can lean on cards like Queen of Hearts, Sensing Weakness, and Raya, Unstoppable Force, to turn challenges into card advantage. To help us dig for specific answers, we have looting effects like the Huntsman, Reluctant Enforcer, Cinderella, Knight in Training, Simba, Future King, and Ariel, Determined Mermaid. These draw and discard effects are great for filtering through cards we don't need to find ones that we do. We also have a few pieces of recursion in the Underworld River Styx and Snow White Well-Wisher, and the aforementioned Wreck-It Ralph Admiral Underpants. These provide a way to avoid increasing our taxes too much should savvy opponents banish Cindy 1 or 2 times. We also have a few cantrip songs in When Will My Life Begin, I'm Still Here, and Painting the Roses Red. These cheap cards, which draw one to replace themselves in our hand, allow us to trigger our When You Sing effects for cheap without emptying our hand. For the last category of utility, we have some solid multiplayer cards like Coda, Talkative Cub, and Tiana, Celebrating Princess, which can hinder other decks with their effects. Kidda, Royal Warrior, Kidda, Protector of Atlantis, Ariel, Adventurous Collector, and Tiana, Restaurant Owner, all provide a bit of protection to our princesses, so they might pull off their combo and survive to just quest that final 5 or so lore we need to win the game. Vanellope von Schweetz, Sugar Rush Champ, and Grand Duke Advisor to the King open up more effective challenges should our princesses need to get their hands dirty. So that's a quick rundown of the deck list. You can find the full deck list in the description below, which I'll keep up to date as new cards are released after this video drops. Now for a quick primer on how to play this list. Your sole goal is to play princesses each and every turn until getting to 5 ink to play Cinderella Melody Weaver. It's pretty easy. While the princesses will appear to be fairly low power targets and you might be able to get away with questing with them, your priority will be to have as many in play as you can when your legendary Cindy dries. So this sometimes requires you to sit back and pass the turn without questing or challenging, for fear of getting your characters banished by opponents. Once you've reached 5 ink, play Cindy and pass the turn. This is where you're at your most vulnerable as an opponent who's aware of what's about to happen. might have held on to a Sisu or Brawl in order to stop you. If that's the case, simply replay Cindy again the following turn. If you're lucky, Cindy might incidentally get damage, as she shares ink costs with an opponent's Grab Your Sword. This would make your job easier, but assuming she has no damage on her when she dries, you'll start your turn looking for an exerted character that would damage but not banish Cindy in a challenge. Challenge that character to put a damage counter on Cindy. If you had a challenge with her to damage her, use your ink to play Go the Distance to ready Cindy, and return the song to the storyboard after drawing your card. Now the conditions for the combo are set. Cindy has damage on her, and you have princesses in play. Now we begin the Songstorm opera. Have Cindy sing the song from your storyboard, choosing to ready her with this effect and drawing a card. Then return the song to the storyboard and repeat this process. At this point, I use a die to count two things, which will have the exact same number. The number of times Cindy has sang Go the Distance this turn, and the amount of tax it will take to sing Go the Distance again. Keep in mind that if you had to play Go the Distance to ready her after the initial challenge this turn, there is a 1 additional tax already there. I use a separate die for that. Keep singing the song and drawing cards until the storyboard tax has reached 8. At this point, Cindy can no longer sing Go the Distance, since she's only a singer 9 and the song's ink cost plus tax equals 10. Depending on if you had to challenge and play Go the Distance to set up the combo, or if you were lucky enough to get damage on her another way, you will have sang Go the Distance 7 or 8 times this turn. Now, each of your other princesses can quest for 7 or 8 additional lore. This will hopefully take you from 0 to the mid to high 20s, with just a few more quests or lore from other sources to close out the match. You can use the remainder of your ink to play more princesses to quest the following turn. That's it. It's an innocuous list that catches opponents off guard. It looks like a bunch of low power, low impact characters, which don't specialize in affecting the board through challenges, drawing cards, or even questing for a lot of lore. So you can skate by most matches ignored by your opponents. Then once you pull off the combo, your opponents will be desperate to try and stop you from gaining the final 3 to 6 lore you need to win the game. A word of caution. Combo decks like this are fun to get to work, like solving a very complex puzzle. However, for other players playing the match, they can be a bit obnoxious. They often bring about an abrupt and unpredictable end to an otherwise linear and predictable match. This can leave other players feeling robbed of what they expected to be a slugging match of fun, back and forth challenges, quests, and plays. I wouldn't recommend leaning on a deck like this too often, unless your group is more impressed than annoyed when you steal wins out of nowhere. Well, that's a wrap on Princess Songstorm. I'll continue to work on more powerful combos as new cards are released, and update this deck list as new sets drop. I hope you enjoyed it and have fun playing it, perhaps in moderation. If you like these deck lists, be sure to like and subscribe so I know to keep making more of this kind of content for you all. As always, for more Lorcana content, like and follow Lorcana University.